Être un bon traiteur, c'est être intransigeant sur la qualité. On ne fait du bon qu'avec le meilleur. C'est être impitoyable sur les recettes. Quand c'est bon, il n'y a rien à ajouter, rien à enlever. C'est être irréprochable sur le goût. Il faut prendre du plaisir pour en donner. Voilà, pour être un bon traiteur, il faut être intraitable.
Parfaitement intraitable.
Welcome back to the Ultimate GT Sprint Cup, the second race of the weekend, about to get underway here at the circuit Paul Ricard. It's another 24 cars it should be taking to the grid for this 25-minute race. Final race, or final weekend of the Ultimate Cup European Series here in the VAR region, with the mountainous backgrounds and a huge variety of different GT machines, from GT3, GT4, Porsche Cup machinery, Lamborghini Super Trofeo, and Ferrari Challenge, and even a DTM car, which will be started by Eric Debard at the head of the field. But alongside me in the commentary box, I've got some very special guests: the 2025 Hoosier Formula Cup champion Nano Lopez, and the Ultimate GT Sprint Cup champion of 2025 as well, Lyle Schofield. Welcome both.
Thank you.
That was in perfect sync. I love it. This is going to go so well. We're off to a great start already. Nano, let's start with you, because although you're known in this paddock for racing in Formula Cup, but you've also been racing in Italian GT as well. Tell us about that.
Yeah, at the start of the year, we were just basically doing the Hoosier Cup, and suddenly the opportunity for doing the Italian GT came up. So yeah, we discussed a bit with the team about the budget, and we came to a really good deal. So yeah, we have been doing the two championships, basically the sprint one and the endurance one. So yeah, it's been a really nice experience, getting to know the car, and obviously it's another type of racing. It's, as I said, more endurance type, sharing the car with another driver. So yeah, it's been a really fun experience, and I think I learned a lot about it. So yeah, it's been really nice.
And Lyle, you've just been racing yesterday, in fact, in the 296 Challenge. Tell us, what's it like driving one of those cars around this circuit?
Pretty fun.
Yeah.
Especially on the back straight, since you're the quickest car on the grid. So you're pretty relaxed when you're leaving the T7, and going down to T8. So it's, yeah, especially when you're going against the GT3, that's really really fun. But in the braking zones and the long corners, that's where it gets a bit tricky compared to the other cars. So
yeah, I can imagine. I mean, we often see you make a few moves at the start of the race because you have a bit more power than the GT3 cars. We see the same from the Super Trofeo machinery as well. So I think we pointed out before the show started, Alexis Berthet starting in 4th position in the Super Trofeo car might give some of those GT3 cars at the head of the field a bit of a hard time into turn 1.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see how greedy he'll get.
Yeah, how greedy can you get on the brakes? I mean, there's an awful lot of runoff area down there.
Yeah, that's... they can play, but...
I mean, Nano, it's got to be slightly different approaching it in, say, the single-seater. How much like adjustment do you have to do if you're switching between the single seaters here and the GT3 Audi and Italian GT?
Yeah, it's a bit of an adjustment. You have to be like open-minded to be able to like change from the one car to another, especially when they're so different. Like for example, the Formula has so much aero, so mainly your issue is trying not to kill that much the minimum speed. When with the GT car, it's heavier, but also has like the twice as power. So yeah, you have to be like late on the brakes, and also the weight, like it's just like double the weight also. So yeah, it's really different, but I think you can learn from both. Also maybe on the GT3 car you have the ABS traction control against the Formula car that has no assist. So yeah, that's also kind of tricky, like to, for example, getting back on the Formula, and for example knowing that I can go like 180 bar on the brakes and locking the tires. But yeah, it's quite a big difference.
It's something I tell young drivers all the time. It's don't sleep on GT and sports car racing, because so many young drivers come in with just the single-seater mentality, and they'll want to get to Formula One and they can only see Formula One, when there are so many opportunities in GT prototype racing, for example, to become a professional driver. Lara, when you made the transition from the Formula Predator series over into Ferrari Challenge competition, what was that transition like?
It was pretty smooth, to be honest, but the big difference was the braking zones and how you take a corner, because in Formula you kind of like curve your corners, and in GT you kind of do like a little V, so you kind of like try and point your car as quick as possible in a straight line.
So it's a bit more point and squirt
kind
of driving, rather than harrying it through.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, because I imagine there's an awful lot more momentum suddenly as well, because they're a bit heavier. So suddenly, when it starts to swing round, it really starts to swing round.
Yeah, exactly. So when you lose it, it's gone. But in the Formula, if you lose it, you can catch it quickly. So.
Yeah. Well, we saw a fair bit of that this morning in Nano's race. He had an absolute ding-dong with Matteo Valente.
Yeah, we had a bit of a battle. Yeah, I didn't have a great start. It was really cold this morning, so yeah, I kind of got with a bit of spinning on the front end. So yeah, it was kind of tough getting off the line, and yeah, afterwards we didn't have much pace. And yeah, it was pretty fun with these cars. The tough thing is with the when you have a car in front, you have a lot of dirty air. For example, at turn 10, that it's normally flat. Maybe with the dirty air, you can't do it flat. So yeah, it was a fun fight until maybe my front wing broke. but yeah, it's fun to get a bit more maybe closer that we're used to. So yeah, it's always nice to have a clean fight.
Well, as the formation lap gets underway, I'll just run you through the starting order. It is Eric Debard in the Racetivity Run Mercedes C63 DTM car that starts on pole position ahead of Jerome Andre's Historic and Race Cars Mercedes AMGs. And that is from the Acodis ASB outfit, their sort of historic racing arm. Olivier Morahan in his Mercedes. He's traded for the Corvette for this weekend. And then Alexis Berthe in the first of the Super Trofeos from CMR. Lucas Azzato in the Ferrari Challenge 296 from Kessel Racing in 5th position. Jerome Plantier starts the number 60 Super Trofeo. That was driven by Maxime Lieutenant yesterday, and Patrick Michelier in the another Ferrari Challenge car. Then the first of the Porsche Cup runners is Simon Desertot. It was Henri, his brother, who won yesterday. And then it is Stéphane Perrin in the Seb Lejeune Racing car, Alexandre Crow in another of the Super Trofeos, completing the top 10. And then Franck Bellard in the Porsche Cup car, Max Bortolami in the Renault RS01 from Kraft Racing, David Fav in the Lamborghini Huracan GT3 from CKCT Sport in 13th, Laurent Roncaglia in another Porsche Cup car, Michael Ziegler in another Seb Lejeune run car. Then the first of the GT4 cars is Francois Denis in the speed car Audi, ahead of Laurent Prunet in the Porsche 981 Cayman, which is the previous model to the 718. Paul Benezek in the Porsche Cup car, Pierre Arroux in the GT4 Audi, and then Malon Villacases in another Porsche Cayman. Gregoire Benedet in the Ferrari F40 GT3 car from the FE Squadra Corsa. Emilio Rocci from SR&R. Lawrence Hume making his race debut in the Mirage Aston Martin GT4. And then that is the hot favourite. There's no Philippe Collinson after his son Jeremy crashed the Bentley Continental GT3 in practice yesterday, which was a great shame. Jeremy, the performance director at the Mahindra Formula E team. And I was very much looking forward to waxing lyrical about Bentley, because we were going to have two of them, because Alexis Berthet was originally a Bentley as well, but the engine in that car blowing before qualifying, so they swapped out for the Super Trofeo car. And yeah, I was looking forward to just talking about Bentley for a little bit, because it's been a while since I've seen any of those cars.
Yeah.
So, oh look, we've got a car missing as well by the looks of it. There's one of the Mercedes, I think it's Olivier Morahan's car, that hasn't made it on as well. There's definitely a gap between the second and fourth placed cars, so that's a shame to see. Of course, his brother Frederick shares a grid with you, Nano, in the Formula Cup. So, Lyle, you've started enough of these races. What's going through your mind at this point when you've got the 2x2 formation, safety cars about to peel in? What are you thinking?
How much turbo boost you can build up, and how hot you can get your brakes up to. So
are you like pumping the throttle a little bit, trying to build the turbo boost before the start?
What I do personally, I just keep the throttle on the brake, the foot on the brake, and then use the throttle. So I'm just like braking and accelerating at the same time.
So you're doing both at the same time to get brake temperature and turbo boost. Yeah. That's I never would have thought of that. Yeah. I hope no one who's not doing that is listening to this and thinking, oh, I'll do that next race. Yeah, great stuff.
I use, especially with the 296, it's like turboed, so it's like. Yeah. And the GT, I don't think so. The GT3s have a turbo. I'm not sure. The
Ferrari GT3 does.
The two in front right now.
No, they are naturally aspirated. A 4-litre V8 in the DTM car, 6.2-litre V8 in the GT3. Race gets underway. We'll see if any of the higher-powered cars can blast their way past either of those two AMGs at the head of the field. Actually, looks like Jerome Andre got the slightly better getaway, but the DTM car with its superior brakes able to hold the advantage, and I imagine Eric Debard will start to pull away from the chasing field. But I suppose you guys would have come a little bit after, like, the Class 1 era of DTM, when this ex-Lucas Hour car was racing in 2017 and 2018. Do you get misty-eyed about these kind of cars, these old machines?
Yeah, I think they're great. If you're walking, you can really hear them from anywhere on the paddock. So yeah, it's great. They were lighter, they had more power, and they had more air than the GT3 cars that they're running now on the DTM. So yeah, it's kind of a shame to not see them, but also they were really expensive. Yeah. But yeah, it's really nice to see a DTM car against all the other racing classes there are, and maybe you can really see the advantage that it has, maybe on the straight or on the braking points, and I think it's really nice to see it.
Change for the lead in the Porsche Cup category with Stefan Perrin making a move on Simon Desertot, the son of Franck Desertot, we're used to seeing out in the Nova in the European Endurance Prototype Cup. And so that's a change for class position and overall position there as well. When you see some of these machines up at the front of the field, do you think that's what I'm aspiring to race in? Obviously, now you've already raced in the GT3, but you're thinking about taking it to a higher level?
Yeah, for sure. I think my way is on the endurance side. I don't think I can continue like Formula or kind of sprint type. That's why this year I did the endurance, and I did also some LMP3 testing. And yeah, next year I'm planning to race the Nova here. So yeah, continuing this endurance side, because obviously with more drivers you can kind of divide the budget, and I think that really helps young drivers, or at least drivers who don't have that much budget. And yeah, for sure, it's really nice, and it's there are incredible cars to race.
Because of course, as the rookie champion in the Formula Cup, you do get that prize money to move up into the Nova Championship. Is that going to be your sole focus, your primary focus, or might you spread it into to other championships?
For now, it's my main focus. Until yesterday, I was just trying to get the championship, so there was nothing else on my mind. But now that I have it, yeah, my focus is getting a seat in the Nova for next year. And I don't know if maybe I can get some extra budget to try and race another thing. But yeah, it would be like with help. I need help to race anything else.
And Lyle, when you've been in the challenge car for a couple of years now, obviously moving up from the 488 to the 296, so it is a bit of a step up, because I think, although it's only got 20 more horsepower, the 296, doesn't it? But I imagine most of the changes were all under the skin to improve the lap time.
Yeah, it's pretty lighter compared to the 488, the 296. So that's where the big difference in the performance comes from. Because especially I just found out yesterday that it has ceramic brakes, which I didn't realize. So yeah.
Does that change your approach at all to a braking zone?
The ceramic brakes, no, but having electric brakes does.
Right.
Because the 488 is like a hydraulic, and you can just hit it as hard as possible and hope for the best. With the 296, you touch it.
Okay. So it's a little bit more
delicate.
Yeah, I think. Would you say like pro focused? Because that's you can't just like smash the pedal.
I don't know. It's a bit of both.
Okay.
Because if you're a gentleman driver, you don't need to put much effort into the braking.
Yeah.
You can just touch it and it'll stop. But if it's a hydraulic, you actually need to use your leg power to actually stop the car.
Okay, so in some ways it is easier for the amateur.
But then
drivers.
it is harder because it's such fine braking to get that perfect, let's say, pressure. It's hard to get that.
So because of course the Ferrari have got a bit of a job on their hands when they're making like these challenge cars, because they've got to lean it towards the amateur drivers in Ferrari Challenge, but also the young guns like yourself that are coming up through the ranks in those cars, and also in Italian GT, of course, as well, like yourself. So, yeah, when you've done 2 years in that car, or in the challenge car, so to speak, are you looking at GT3? Are you looking at another season in challenge?
Honestly, whatever comes.
Yeah.
I'm not really fussy. It depends on budget and opportunity that presents itself. So I'm happy to be behind the wheel, pretty much.
of anything, just to be racing.
Yeah.
I do like that mentality. It's just, whatever it is, I'll drive the wheels off it.
Exactly.
Good. Any of the GT3 cars in particular, do they take your fancy? I mean, like you've got the Huracan there, which sadly is not going to be around next year in terms of the top level competition, but I'm sure there'll still be plenty of those around, because we enjoy listening to that V10, right?
Yeah. If I had to choose, I still couldn't tell you if I choose a car. I'm really not fussy. If I'm enjoying myself behind the wheel, I'm competitive, I'm happy.
Well, race teams across the paddock, you know that Lyle Schofield will be the easiest driver to please on the grid. Nana, you got any particular favourites?
I think the closer one to the Audi, it's the Lambo, the Huracan. They are basically the same car, just made by Audi and by Lamborghini. So yeah, I take the Lamborghini because I think it would be closer to what I drove. But as Lyle said, I would drive anything. Like if you give me a shopping cart with an engine, I drive it and I have fun with it. So yeah, it's really nice to see that much class difference. And yeah, so many cars.
Hopefully no wonky wheels on that shopping trolley.
Yeah, exactly.
Because that would be problematic, wouldn't it? I got to say, I do love the fact that we still have so many customer Audis out there racing across Europe. Obviously, they ended the factory program at the end of last year, and I was very worried that we were going to lose the V10 engine basically from GT racing, because the Temerario coming next year, it's a twin-turbo V8, and the Audis are, there's no more factory programs out there now. So, I'm personally very relieved to still have that engine around.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's really nice to be able to know which car is running by the sound. Like,
Yeah.
so I think that's a bit of what F1 lost with being like all the cars V6 turbo. When, for example, at the 90s you had V12s, V10, V8s all running at the same time. So yeah, I think it's kind of a shame the Lamborghini is going with the V8, but still it's different from the 296, which has a V6.
Car pulling off the road, which is Malone Villacases in the JSR Experiences 981 Cayman, but thankfully has been able to pull it behind the barriers himself, so we shouldn't need any kind of intervention for that, unless it's deposited some fluid onto the road in its bid for freedom. Yeah, speaking of the Formula 1 engines, actually, Lyle, you grew up in Monaco, didn't you?
Around Monaco.
Yeah, okay. So you must have seen plenty of Monaco Grand Prix out the bedroom window.
Yeah, I've been to one or two, and it's pretty nice. It's
Yeah.
more, I'd say Monaco is more about the partying, not really about the race itself. It's like quali and then party till Monday.
Okay.
That's the experience that when in Monaco and the race is there and I'm not racing, that's pretty much the experience I get,
Yeah.
or most people get.
In your house or in the bar?
At neighbors, like at a friend's house.
Specifically the neighbours.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. No, nothing going on in the Schofield house.
No.
So how old were you when you were watching those races then?
Pretty recently.
Oh, okay.
So I think I was 18, 19 when I first went.
Okay. So wait, how old are you now?
21.
Okay. Right. Okay. So we're still talking like the hybrid era
Yeah.
of Formula One. Does it still sound good when you listen to it out the window?
The Red Bull sounds good,
Okay.
especially when it goes down the gears, like the cracking sound. That's lovely. That's the only one which for me sticks in my heart as like a nice sound in the F1 world right now.
It was really popular when it was labelled a Honda engine,
Yeah.
which it still basically is, just with a different badge on it. Red Bull have got a bit of a history of this. Do you remember when they had Tag Heuer engines?
Yeah.
Which was a Renault with a different badge. Yeah, no, that was definitely one of the popular engines, I think, from a couple of years ago, wasn't it? And of course, Honda coming back next year with Aston Martin as well. So is that what you're going to be listening out for that outside the window?
Hopefully, especially with Adrian Newey in the background. That would be an interesting works.
Oh, that's very true. Where are you at the moment? Are you living in Monaco, or are you?
I live close to Nice.
Close to Nice, that was it. Okay, yeah. Because I do have it written down here somewhere about all the places you've been, born, and that was it. Yeah, lives in France, born in Monaco, but Irish nationality, right?
Exactly.
Great. I'm trying to think. It was only you only started racing in 2018, wasn't it? In cars.
Yeah.
What was the karting scene like? Presumably you did it in France.
I did in France. I think I started at 14.
Okay.
I think. And so yeah, I went around France racing go-karts. The aim wasn't really to go big in go-karting world, so we quickly moved into Formula seats.
Okay.
As cheap as possible.
Presumably the language barrier wasn't too difficult. You probably grew up speaking French, right?
So it was like France is kind of like my house,
Yeah.
and then Ireland is also my home. So it's
Okay. And Nana, were you karting in Argentina, or did you come over to Europe for that?
No, I did 2 years in Argentina.
Okay.
And yeah, I did 2 races in United States and 2 races in Italy. But yeah, that's all my European karting.
Okay, so when you first came to Formula Cup at the end of last year, for example, that was really still very early in terms of racing in Europe.
Yeah, exactly. And just after, after the Magnico race, I had the Rock Championship on Lonato, that it's in Italy. So yeah, it was pretty fun to go from for example, when I won on Magnicur to going to Lonato, and it was still raining. So yeah, it was pretty fun. Yeah.
I remember that race very well. It was your first win in the first overall win, because we still had the old Formula Renault 2-litre cars, which actually maybe I can say this because they're not part of the championship now, but Jake Dennis once described that to me as the worst car he's ever driven, because he had driven in the previous generation Formula Renault cars, which he loved, and then his second year in the championship they introduced the new car, and said he didn't like it very much at all. But tell me, how does that conversation go? Mum, Dad, I'm going to go move halfway across the world and race some cars.
Well, for me, it was kind of difficult because my family doesn't have any racing background, so it was kind of tough, like to know the world, you know, like to introduce myself into the racing world. So in that way, that's why I started so late. Like I started at 15 years old. So yeah, the main thing was they knew I loved cars, but I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how it worked. I didn't know. I actually didn't know that competitive carring existed. So yeah, it was kind to get into the world. But once I got it, they were pleased to help me and to support me, but also because of the how much it meant to me. Like they saw the effort I put into working out, being training, you know, trying to get better.
Oh, spin for the Renault. Max Bortolami right in front of Patrick Michelier and Franck Bellard. That spins it back round. Do continue.
Yeah. And so yeah, but once they saw all the effort I put into being better, they started to support me. Obviously, there were lots of time we had to learn, like as a family, how motorsport worked. But yeah, now they're really interested in motorsports. But yeah, it's really nice to see how they supported me.
And how much time are you spending between Argentina and Europe now? Are you permanently based here now?
The thing was, at the start of the year, we were talking about if I had to move here or if I had to stay in Argentina. And the thing is, there were just 6 races, so I said, okay, yeah, I stay in Argentina. Makes no sense to be living here just for 6 times of the year. But yeah, afterwards, with the Italian GT Championship, there were 8 races more, so that it started to get a bit like tough with all the trips. So, for example, the last 2 months I've been here near Barcelona. But the thing is, I couldn't live here permanently because I didn't have like the European passport. So yeah, I have been spending like 2 weeks, 1 week, 2 weeks, 1 week, just being more on the plane than on my bed. So yeah.
How many air miles have you racked up now? You're gonna get to redeem those.
Yeah, I have to redeem those because I for sure can get some trips. So yeah, if next year I'm not here like living, for sure I'm going to redeem those.
Lyle, what was it like for you, you know, when you were growing up? Presumably it was put everything in the back of the van and drive.
Pretty much, but it started off when I started playing racing games a lot, like 24/7.
So which ones?
Racing Roof 2 on the iPad.
Oh wow!
Yeah, and Mario Kart.
Of course.
So I'll be waking up like a crack on to play it and then not go to sleep. And then my parents were just like, okay, well, let's just get a go-kart and see where it goes.
I mean, to be honest, I was the same with the F1 games when the first like Codemasters games started coming out, like 2010, 11, 12, that kind of thing. Was pretty much on there constantly. And I actually found it a really good way to learn about Formula 1. You learn like all the regulations and things like that. I'm like, what do you mean I have to use 2 compounds in a race? Are either of you guys like sim fans at the moment?
I was a very big sim fan, my bad, before, and I'm slowly coming out of it. Like, I know it's not good, but I should be more into it. But I feel it's a bit of a disconnect in sim racing and real racing, in my opinion.
Sometimes you spend a whole weekend racing and then you get home like, oh god, I don't want to look at another car. Nana, what about you?
Yeah, I love sim racing. It was my first approach to the racing world, so I still love it. I just try to do as much time as I can, also because I can't be testing, so it's like my way of staying in touch with a racing car. Obviously, as I said, sometimes it's not that close. But yeah, I prefer it to not having anything. So yeah.
What was your go-to sim?
I started with Assetto Corsa.
Yeah.
But yeah, then I moved to iRacing, and now I'm in love with iRacing.
Solid choice.
Yeah, for sure. And what surprised me the most when I came here to Europe was the level of detail of the trucks. Because sometimes maybe because of the licenses they're not the same cars, but the level of accuracy on the tracks were insane. I remember, for example, I knew some of the bumps and how tall the curves were because of the rim, of the sim. So yeah, I think it's a really good approach to getting to know a track, for example.
Okay, so how much mileage are you doing like before a race weekend, for example?
I don't know how many mileage, as you said. I just try to do as much, maybe at least 4 hours every day. But yeah, so yeah, just trying to get as much mileage as I can, and maybe test some setups or just long runs, quali sims, to try and be as prepared as I can.
You must have a really sweet setup at home then for that.
Yeah. It didn't start it that good. First I had like, I don't even remember the brand. I think it was like 10 euros, the first sim. Yeah, but it had like 200 degrees of, I don't know how to say it, of
steering angle.
Yeah, so it was just like playing with a keyboard. It was just so snappy. But yeah, I improved it, and yeah, it's really nice now.
Oh, excellent. Just take a look at this DTM car again. You see it's got the DRS being used as well to get an extra 15 clicks down the straight. And this car pretty much untouched from when it left Lucas Hauer's hands at the end of 2018. You see it's even still got the Get Well Robert Wickens stickers on it after his terrible crash in Pocono in 2018. And I do love Racetivity. They bring out a lot of these old bangers. You remember the Ford GT that they had last year as well, which we were hoping to see in Magny-Cours a few weeks ago as well, but some sort of issue on that stopped it running.
Yeah, it's so nice to see. I don't know if I'd call it historics because they're quite recent, but yeah.
Oh, that's your teammate, Lyle, that's been tagged by Jerome Andre by the looks of it. So that's Emilio Rocci. That's having gone round at Virage Dupont. You're going to be sending a word over to the Historic and Racecast team?
Maybe.
Well, that contact is under investigation, and yeah, confirmation it was Jerome Andre. And I was actually speaking to the team boss, and it's managed by Jim Pla as well, actually. But that's the historic arm of the Acodis ASB team, which is going to be running in the new SRO series next year. I can't remember what they called it, the Revival series that they announced recently, which I'm very much looking forward to. I don't know about you guys, but I'm looking forward to seeing some of the old Ferraris and the old Bentleys and all that good stuff. BMW Z3s. So Stefan Perrin here is actually caught up to the back of Lucas Azzetto. Last year, you spent a lot of time in your Ferrari Challenge car battling with the Porsche Cup cars, but they seem to make their lap time in very different ways, and so you'd get these really interesting battles.
Yeah, the Porsche is more is better in the technical corners, like in the slow speeds and like getting out of the corner. Whilst the Ferrari is more long straights and braking zones. That's where the Ferrari gains its time. So like ice in sector 2 it is, and sometimes in sector 1 depending on the driver. I'd be catching up in 1 and 2 and then lose everything in 3. And so it'd be always a cat and mouse of if I can get closer, can I keep it, and then I lose some, and then it'd always be like a yo-yo.
I always feel bad for the Porsche drivers in these battles though, because you've got the power advantage, so they, even in the tow, they would struggle to keep up a little bit.
Yeah, but in the getting out of the corners, they are way quicker. It's impressive when you're behind them, especially when they're on fresh rubber. They're just gone.
So is that on traction?
Yeah, because it's mid-based, right?
The Porsche is rear-engined.
Rear-engined.
Yep. Yeah, it's same as the GT3 car, where it is literally over the rear axle, over the back of the rear axle. Because it's funny, we talk about like some like front-engined cars, like this Mercedes, for example. If we were going to be super anal about it, front engine would be in front of the front axle, which it's not, but it's also not exactly mid-engined either, you know? It is further forward than it is in the middle. I did get someone going, oh, technically that's a mid-engined car, but that's not really something I worry about too much. Coming up to, should be final lap soon. Where's our race leader? He's 63 seconds in front of everyone else, so it's actually difficult to get. Oh, just coming across the timing line.
He just
no, he isn't. I'm looking at the wrong car. Coming through Le Bousset now, so yeah, probably one more lap. I'd have thought. There's Emilio coming back out onto the racetrack. I had a quick visit into the pits, presumably just to check the car over. Lyle, what's it been like working with the SR&R squad over the last few years?
Good. Very Italian, but good.
Very Italian.
So a lot of hand gestures.
Good food, I imagine.
Good coffee.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's pretty fun. Good atmosphere.
Nana, you've also been working with the Italians, Audi Sport Italia, and also at TS Course as well. So how's that been?
Yeah, as Lyle described it, yeah, very passionate. When they're happy, it's really nice. But when they're not, like, in a good mood, you don't need a lot to sense it. So, yeah, it's really nice. I think the Italians are great people, and it's been really nice to be working with them. Yeah, I would describe it as a pleasing experience, and also fun because it's a bit like warmer. So maybe closer to Latino Americans. So yeah.
So I suppose, is there a bit of similar culture then, would you say?
Yeah. Well, for example, in Argentina we have more than half of the population that came from Italians. So, for example, one of my last names, I go by Lopez Cesarato, and the second last name is Italian. So, yeah, I think we're really similar in some things, and you can really sense it, like, okay, I get it, why we're like this. So, yeah, it's quite similar in some things.
So you're speaking Italian, Spanish, and English?
Yeah, yeah. And I learned a bit of French in my school, but to be honest, I don't remember much. I want to study again, but yeah.
Oh, fantastic. I've got multilingual superstars across the table from me, and here I am. I've been taking French lessons for a year, and I can still barely hold my own in a conversation with the staff here at Ultimate Cup. So it is final lap of the race, and Eric Debard bringing the C63 into Virage du Pont. It'll be one final blast from the 4-litre V8 at the front of that car. And the checkered flag is out for Eric Debard. It's back-to-back wins for Racetivity. That'll be Jerome Andre, who finishes in second position in the Mercedes, and then Alexis Berthet will take the UCS2 honours as the best of the Lamborghini Super Trofeos, but also an overall podium as well, ahead of Jean Plantier. Lucas Azoto for Kessel Racing taking the Ultimate Cavallino Tridente Cup honours, and Stefan Perrin taking the Porsche Cup honours when they eventually get over the line. It's quite a wait, actually, for them to all make it across. Francois Denis will take the UCS3 honours for the GT4 cars, ahead of Laurent Prunet, and Lawrence Hume, who will be on the podium in his first ever motor race. And I'm sure he can thank former British touring car racer Mike Epps, his coach, for a little bit of that in the Mirage Racing Aston Martin. So boys, just before the guys make it into Parc Fermé and we wrap things up here, Nano, I did kind of ask you this question yesterday, but plans for 2026, what is on the table for you?
Well, I'm going to use the prize from the championship to race the Nova. Yeah, I don't know if maybe something else can come up. It's still quite early. Normally, I decide my racing in a few months. So yeah, let's just try and hope that with winning this championship, new offers come in. And yeah, I think I will be staying more to the endurance side.
And plans for the winter?
Maybe these first weeks try to relax a bit. It's been I don't know how to say, a really busy year. So yeah, maybe the first weeks try to relax a bit, and yeah, afterwards getting back into training as hard as I can, and just going as much as I can on the sim to be ready for next year.
And Lyle, winter plans?
There are no winter plans right now, but I still have one race weekend to go next weekend at Misano. So I'll go an hour race there to do. And then after that, nothing planned yet. So see what happens, see the opportunities.
Okay. And for 2026, just race anything, right?
Anything that comes. So.
All right, we'll leave your phone numbers in the comments section of our YouTube stream, and hopefully someone will give you guys a call. Gentlemen, thank you both so much for coming in and having a chat with us. I'll let you both go, but it's been great to have you here.
Yeah, it's the same for me. It's been really great. I think it's really interesting to see the other side of the transmission. As a driver, you always hear the I don't know how to say the commenting, and it's really nice to see the other side. Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. Thank you very much, Nano Lopez and Lyle Schofield, for coming in, and hopefully we'll hear from Alexandre Urban in the pit lane shortly with our race winner Eric Debard, and might even squeeze in our second and third place finishers as well. Just a note, coming up next on Ultimate Cup TV, qualifying for the European Endurance Prototype Cup. The 3 qualifying sessions that will set the grid for the 4-hour race tomorrow. Then we have final race for the Ligier Formula Cup, actually, which Nano will be competing in. Third race for Ultimate GT Sprint. And then the first of our LMP3 races as well in the European Sprint Prototype Cup, qualifying for Canal GT Endurance Cup, final race for Ultimate GT Sprint Cup, and then the final LMP3 race as well. And for our French listeners, the 4-hour midget race as well at 5 o'clock local time as well. And then we have a bit of an endurance day to close off the 2025 season, with 4- and 6-hour races for European Endurance Prototype Cup and Canal GT Endurance Cup. I can see Alexandre Urban down in the Parc Fermé area and getting ready to chat with Eric Debard, who's just taken the helmet off and the balaclava, and Jerome Andre in there as well with the historic and race cars outfit. So Alexandre's ready. Let's hear from Eric Debard.
Par la peau du cou, et vous allez lui poser des questions. Alexandre, je vous laisse y aller quand vous voulez, je vois que vous êtes prêt.
Oui, je suis avec le vainqueur de cette deuxième course, Eric Debar. Eric, chaque année, vous nous faites le plaisir de nous ramener cette belle DTM et vous nous la conduisez souvent, même toujours, vers la victoire. C'est vraiment une voiture folle, une voiture que vous adorez.
Ben, je l'adore cette voiture. Alors bon, c'est vrai que c'est un peu compliqué de la sortir régulièrement, mais bon, on a la chance au Castellet de pouvoir profiter du circuit, du soleil et de la voiture. Donc c'est un vrai plaisir. Bien sûr pour le spectacle, je pense aussi de voir rouler des DTM, c'est sympa. Mais je vous assure que au volant, c'est vraiment sympa, quoi.
Et année après année, le plaisir, il disparaît jamais.
Mais non, le plaisir, j'espère qu'il va durer longtemps.
Et puis vous êtes maintenant, vous avez plus de 60 ans, vous êtes toujours là, vous gagnez encore des titres, vous êtes toujours là, vous allez continuer de la sortir pendant des années, cette voiture, j'espère bien.
Arrête de me dire, chaque fois que tu m'interviewes, il me dit j'ai plus de 60 ans. Mais 60 ans, alors il faut encore regarder devant. Mais c'est vrai qu'il y en a beaucoup qui sont passés, on va les compter maintenant, mais c'est pour ça il faut profiter pleinement.
Bon, on se donne rendez-vous à la fin de la course 4 pour vous rappeler que vous avez encore 60 ans.
Ouais. Merci.
Eh bien voilà, merci beaucoup Alexandre pour cette interview du vainqueur Eric Debar. Et quant à nous, nous allons nous quitter pour l'instant et nous retrouver d'ici quelques secondes pour la suite du programme. Ça va être les 3 séances qualificatives de l'European Endurance Prototype Cup. Et on va commencer un peu à faire de l'endurance, même si les courses n'auront lieu que demain. Donc restez avec nous sur Ultimate Cup TV, restez avec nous sur le circuit. Encore beaucoup de belles choses à venir sur le circuit Paul Ricard. A tout de suite.
We're gonna